Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for another edition of the Fast 15, as we like to do each and every Wednesday at about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, with a couple of exceptions here and there. We take no more than about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from one of the books or audio books, a few announcements of upcoming things, and then close out on a positive note. So I thank each and every one of you for joining us, as we've done this every Wednesday basically since like April 1st, 2020. So before I get into acknowledging a couple folks who are joining us online, to stay connected with me, add me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. If you have requests for autographed copies of any of the books, speaking engagements, festival appearances, coffee information, you may email me at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com. And if you're already adding me on Instagram, or just share my Instagram info and you click on the link in the bio for my link tree, it'll have all the information in there from the most recent newsletter, interviews I've been able to do with different outlets, and more. So I just want to thank everybody for taking time joining us. I want to give shouts to Morgan Brock joining us for a minute. If you have not checked out this amazing actress, this amazing presence, make sure to connect with her. Speak life support. Well, not life support, but speak life and speak support into her and the work she's doing. And that's for any creative or anybody out there trying to do something constructive. So what we always like to do at the beginning of each chat is take time to acknowledge. We know everybody is in a certain space and place. Some people are in a very challenging space and place because it could be something physical health, mental health, it could be something on the job, something within their families, relationship-wise, things along those lines. And I'd be remiss if during these, quote, people who are going through tough times, people that I know personally, they're going through things. I want to acknowledge the family, friends, loved ones, and fraternity brothers, members of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, for Kendall Harris, from a gentleman that I've known from a long time. So I know his family, friends, his grad chapter up in Raleigh, North Carolina, Phi Lambda, his chapter from undergrad, Pi Nu at Appalachian State, and others. So we definitely want to send a word of prayer, a word of encouragement, words of support for him and his family. I'd be remiss if I also didn't mention another member of our fraternity, Sherman Lofton Jr., whose father transitioned recently. So prayers, condolences, and encouragement. And for people who are dealing with life transitions along those lines, known or unknown, we definitely want to send a word of encouragement out to you. And like I'll tell anybody going through a challenge, you do have every right to feel some kind of way. We're human. We're going to go through the range of emotions. So you've got every right to feel some kind of way. But the bigger right is to make sure to identify what are constructive ways to go through it and grow through it. And if what you're going through requires professional attention, get the help that you need. If it requires you getting just informal help or what have you, get the help that you need. If you've got to change whatever your diet, your workout routine, your surroundings, what have you, identify positive things that you can do to help you pause and pivot, because there are people that want you around. There are people who need you around, and not just, there are people who want and need you around. So if there's anyone out there that's going through something, please go ahead, get the help that you need so you can get through it. By the same token, there are a number of positive things going on for people. Some people are getting, new acting gigs, even with what's going on with SAG and the Writers Association on the independent end. There's some folks doing some great work. Hopefully there's more that's out there on the horizon. Hopefully they get that situation squared away with Hollywood. Some people with new books, new music, new business. You learn how to do something new. I mean, there are positive things that are going on out there. So for anyone that's riding a positive wave or just starting to get back in a positive swing of things, we want to congratulate you. Feed off the positive energy. Like I'll tell anybody, you know what you had to work through in order to get to where you are. So you have every right to celebrate. Just don't go overboard, but definitely celebrate and feed off the positive energy. Let's put some of that positive stuff back out to other folks. So before I get into our reading, today I'm enjoying some green tea. So let me just get a sip right quick. Okay. And of course, I like to go to quotes and notes not only because it's my current, like, most recent book, but because of the original thoughts that have helped me and hopefully can help others. And it's also the logic and rationale behind it, so you know the meaning behind it. But bigger than that, there's space for you to go ahead and journal. So if you agree, you disagree, you want to go in a deeper direction, you want to go in another direction, it's something that hopefully is a good think piece, and not heavy labor work, but enough work to where it's like, hey, we understand what you put in your head is going to show up in some way, shape, or form. So you've got to be conscious of what you're putting in between your left and your right ear, or right and left ear. You just want to be conscious of that and be aware. So I'm going to go to one of the go-to quotes that I use, especially with some of the things going on, recently that haven't been so great for people. If you give me a moment, I'm going to go to one of my go-to quotes. And this one is, let's see if I can find it. I know you're like, come on. I know what's in here. Just give me a moment or two. But I definitely want to, yeah, this one is timely for not only times like these, but any time. This is an original quote from my grandmother, Ms. Laureen Peppers, and she is here with us in spirit. But as we say, a number of our elders have a lot of wisdom and insight that you can't measure, in a degree or what have you. So here's a quote that I know a few folks have borrowed, which is fine. Just make sure you get the book. But real talk, here's the quote. Take time to see about people. Run it back one more time. Take time to see about people. That's part of the reason why at the beginning of each chat, I want to acknowledge people who aren't doing that great. Because sometimes when you're in the abyss or in the foxhole or sinkhole or what have you, and you feel like everything's kind of caving in, you feel like people aren't aware of what's going on with you. Whether you make a phone call, a text, you send a card, you call somebody, you meet up for breakfast or a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, lunch, happy hour, the game or what have you, you don't know how meaningful it is when you take time to check on people. And do it in a genuine manner. Don't be doing it to try to, put kerosene on a fire. Be genuine and just ask the simple question, how are you today? How's your family? What's going on with you? Those are three basic questions, but very powerful questions that you never know can help somebody pause and pivot. So as best as possible, check on people. If that's a family member of yours, if that's not your boy, that's your girl, check on them. You never know how important those things are to help somebody. So again, take time to see about people as best as you possibly can. That's an original quote that I borrowed and credited to my grandmother, and that's part of what's in Quotes and Notes. Something's on the horizon, so make sure to keep that on the radar. So speaking of things on the radar, a couple of quick announcements and acknowledgments. Shouts to Life with Shanita and Two Queens Productions. This past Sunday, y'all, if you should have been there. I mean, if you should have been there, and make sure you're there next year. So the inaugural and elegant evening of jazz took place at Spivey Hall on the campus of Clayton State University this past Sunday. Spivey Hall is a nice, intimate venue. Acoustics are amazing. The audience was amazing. Many thanks to violinist Brooke Alford, saxophonist Dee Lucas, flutist Kim Scott. The three of them did an amazing job. Shouts to Morris in the morning from WCLK from hosting. An amazing event supporting the work of Life After the Rain, which provides resources and related support for widows and widowers. amazing, just an amazing experience. So many thanks to all of the artists, volunteers, everybody. And I'll probably in my stories post the link for the recap article so you're aware of some of the different things that are going on. Starting yesterday or even today, shouts to the members of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I will not be heading to Dallas, but to those of you heading to Dallas, safe travels. Tend to the business of Alpha and have fun. Don't go overboard. Have fun, but definitely tend to the business of Alpha as there's work that still needs to be done out and about. Tonight I will be covering an amazing film release. I'm going to put the info in my stories. Excited. One of the independent films, so looking forward to being out and about later today. A couple other things are on the horizon. Let's see. August 5th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me in Conyers, Georgia at Smoke Break Conyers. We'll be doing our inaugural books, coffee, and cigars. Come on out at 3. We'll have a light meet and greet. We'll discuss the books, the audio books, the coffee collab that I have with Fonte's Coffee. So shouts to them. So enjoy really good coffee and more. So that'll be at 3 p.m. on August 5th. You've probably seen a couple of the posts. We will definitely, continue to push that info. August 10th. At the Winder Public Library in Winder, Georgia. Many thanks to the team of Emery Rose Photography for making that happen. I'll be out there, doing an author's talk. And then, of course, for the month of August 19th, Jackson, Mississippi. Meet me in the SIP, as I'm looking forward to being back at the Mississippi Book Festival. So excited to be a part of that major festival. Then August 26th, join me in Louisville. We'll release the times coming soon, but we will be officially dropping the decaf coffee under the AuthorASnorton blend. We already have the medium roast, the light roast, and now we're dropping the decaf because a couple of people can't be too jittery. So definitely have the decaf out of Fonte's Coffee, and there's going to be more stuff coming up, but those are some of the immediate things coming. So August is definitely going to be an active month. But many thanks to everybody taking time just to pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from one of the books, a couple of announcements, how to engage with me. Shouts again to Morgan Brock for joining me. It's been a minute, but I tell you what, got a chance to meet her, I guess it was this fall, almost 2 years ago, but amazing actress, Chicago roots, doing amazing work here in Atlanta and around. So make sure to check out Morgan Brock and support her and the work that she's doing. So again, as we get ready to wind down, we try to keep it at about 15 minutes. Every Wednesday, generally at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but every once in a while, we might do it at a different time. It's an opportunity to pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note. And hopefully, when you depart from here, you're feeling a little bit better, or you feel like you're starting to pause and pivot into a better space and place. To stay connected with me, you can add me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at AuthorASnorton. You may email me for requests for autographed copies of any of the books, speaking, all that type of thing at AuthorASnorton@gmail.com. When you add me on Instagram, if you click on the link in the bio, it's my link tree. So I want to say it's linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. Actually, that's what it is. So to make it simple, if you don't remember all the social media and website and all that stuff, go to my link tree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. And when you go there, you can see the newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter, any interviews I've been able to do, like usually the most recent one. So there's a couple that are on the horizon, just waiting to get the links on those. The social media info, the coffee collab with Fonte's Coffee, and a few more things. So make sure to do that. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and go. We got a couple things we need to take care of before we head out to this movie release. But again, to everybody, thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day. Just kind of pause, pivot. Hopefully you're motivated, encouraged, inspired by what we're talking about. For people who need that lift that positive lift, that need life spoken into them. I hope you feel like you're getting that. And as I always say, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So keep it victorious, keep it moving, take very good care. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.